To most people, the pyramids is an object of mystery and wonders, and as a result, this ancient structure has caused so much controversy. All want to know how and why they were built. They want to know, how did the ancient Egyptians carry blocks of stones with some weighing 15 tons to the pyramid sites? They want to know what tools were used and how was it even possible for our ancestors to align the pyramids' cardinal points to true west, east, north, and south. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. I'm fearless. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. All of this baffles modern scientists, archaeologists, and engineers who still to this very day, with all of their so-called high technology, have yet to figure it out. Just look at the Great Pyramids of Khufu at Giza. They cannot duplicate the techniques required to build something so marvelous. In their ignorance, however, so many so-called scholars and professors have fabricated and built many lies about the pyramids. Most of the theories that they have come up with are illogical, and this is merely because they are simply guessing. It is a known fact that the Great Pyramids is located in what is being called Africa today. Nah, the pyramids is in the Middle East, bro. As you can see, this is the type of ignorance we have to deal with daily. People not even knowing that Egypt is in Africa. And if you knew that, you would already have the answer to who built them. Yes, it's true. Our ancient African ancestors, who were master builders, are responsible for the construction of the Great Pyramids. Everything about our ancient culture has been fabricated by foreign invaders such as the Greeks and the Phoenicians. The word pyramid itself, as given to these great structures in Egypt, was symbolic because the word is really Greek, as the word Egyptian is. The word pyramid comes from the word pyra, from pyro meaning fire, and the word mid means in the middle, referring to the column of energy called tachyonic energy. The ancient word for pyramid is simply Mer. The pyramids of ancient Egypt were used to make connection with our ancestors called Pa-Neteru, who once dwelt in the Orion star constellation. The pyramids here are merely a replica of their civilization in Orion. This is why all of the Great Pyramids line up perfectly with the stars of Orion, which is on a slant and points to the dog star Sirius. Now, this relates to the shaft or the tunnel of the Queen's Chamber in the Great Pyramids, which align perfectly with the Sirius star. It was also considered the star of Arashtet, or Isis to the Greeks, just as Orion was equated to Asar or Osiris to the Greeks. The Sirius star is found in the Canis Major constellation, just below Orion, and it is the brightest star in the sky. In ancient Egypt, the rising of the Sirius star was the beginning of the Nile flood, and it coincided with the summer solstice in a past epoch, and thus considered the new year for our ancient Egyptian ancestors. The Dogon tribe of Mali, who are also descendants of the ancient Egyptian, recognize this binary star, and they perform a ceremonial dance called the Badu rite, which occurs every 60 years, called a Sagi. Every 9,000 years, Sirius A and Sirius B crisscross in front of each other, sending energies to the planet Earth. Since the Dogons had connection with our relatives from the stars, they knew about this, and they tracked the movement of Sirius B and A. This, however, puzzled modern scientists because it is not visible to the naked eye. And yet the Dogons had this knowledge way before the invention of powerful telescopes. In reality, the pre-dynastic Egyptians were great mathematicians, scientists, and astronomers of ancient times, and they knew about Sirius C way before modern astronomers. If we examine the Great Pyramids, you will find that its perimeter is 3,023.12 feet, its base is 755.78 feet, and its height was 480.95 feet. If you multiplied the height by 2, for there was just as much pyramid below the surface as there is above, that would give you 961.6 feet. This is the diameter, and if you divide the circumference by this figure, the measurement equals approximately the value of pi, 3.14. And thus, if you multiply the circumference by 2, you will have a very close figure to the polar radius of the planet Earth. The measurement of the length and width of the Great Pyramids correspond to the latitude and longitude lines, which means that the pyramids were built geometrically 23 degrees from the center of the Earth, near the equator at the center of the landmass of the planet. One of the coordinates of the Great Pyramid in decimal degrees is 29.9792458. degrees north. This matches the speed of light, which is 299,792,458 meters per second. As you can see, the geometry and mathematical knowledge of the Earth was encoded in the Great Pyramid's construction, and the math was based on what you now call the Pythagorean theorem, math that Pythagoras acquired from his visit to Egypt and maliciously named it after himself. This is not a coincidence. The ancient masters who constructed it knew science, mathematics, astronomy, and geometry of each continent on Earth. It was their field so that they could construct similar schools of learning like this around the world. If you did some research, you'll find that thousands of pyramids and mounds are built all over the world. Most of them line up at 33rd degree, 32nd degree, the Tropic of Cancer, which also lines up with the Belt of Orion. This also includes the pyramids and mounds in America built by the Nubians known as the Olmecs, long before the colonizers' invasion, which means we were not just in Africa, we were everywhere. And all of these pyramids were built by the same master builders of Afaf-Re-Ka. These pyramids were used for many things such as landing sites, schools, house of initiation, radio stations for interdimensional communication, and astronomical use, to name a few. And they hold a lot of power, for they are electromagnetic antennas that create standard columnar waves which prevent the wobbling of the Earth and keeps it balanced. Many people do not know that the pyramids of Giza was built to balance the magnetic field and landmass of the Earth after the axis shift to 23.5 degrees. The pyramids are also electrical capacitors designed to help humans advance into higher levels of consciousness. How, you may ask? Well, around everyone's body there is an electromagnetic field, commonly known as the aura. Your aura has a negative electrical charge. If you study and advance yourself to overcome matter, you must change this charge to a positive electrical charge. The pyramids have the capability to refocus light into the reverse spiral of the electron, which is the positive field or frequency, enabling you to make contact with your oversoul, as well as beings in other dimensions. The pyramids were used as a tuning device to help the children of the Neteru achieve this change. Standard columnar waves are actually energy emitted from the top of the pyramid, the capstone. This energy that resembles a double helix of the human DNA is generated by the sides of the pyramid, bending light and creating a vortex. This is the same energy that runs the entire universe, under the watchful guidance of nature, a word that was taken from Neteru, the tall-height Egyptian beings of the skies, who had the real truth of the knowledge of the pyramids and how they deal with tachyon energy. When the pyramids refocus light into its subatomic particles, these particles are called tachyon energy. Modern scientists will tell you that tachyon is a hypothetical form of energy. Please, do not be fooled by the degrees that they give to each other in order to maintain some form of intellectual authority. When you hear the word tachyon, you can hear tack on. For tachyon energy is the glue of the universe. It's the bond between the ethereal or spiritual and the physical realm. If humans are to advance into higher realms of existence, they must learn to overstand tachyon energy. Unlike the electron spin, there is no centrifugal force that acts on tachyon motion, thus no gravity. Tachyon's energy can pass through matter and fields without being affected or even affecting the field of matter itself, for its motion is interdimensional, meaning it coexists separately yet alongside our own. If we were to examine the Dogon tribe of Mali Badurite, which is their 60-year dance ritual, of which they taught to the Hopi native Indians as the rain dance, scientifically, you would find the result of the dancing is a charged standing columnar wave. The clock in motion of the dance pattern is the same clock in action of tachyon pairs, used to build standing columnar waves and in turn cause rain. The dance pattern is similar to the motion of the clocking of the electromagnetic field of the atom, and thus, through the dance, a band of energy is formed. This energy, which is seen as light, forms a double helix commonly called caduceus, or the staff of Tahuti, or Hermes to the Greeks, and the Kundalini to the Hindus, which has the wings of the Egyptian goddess Arashtet, or Isis to the Greeks. Today, it is used as the medical symbol because it symbolizes healing powers. This symbol shows the two directions that electrons can spiral around the nucleus of the atom, and its purpose is to show the degree of light in the body. Now, as to how the pyramids were built. The pyramids were built from the top down, which merely means that the mental construction produces the blueprint for the physical construction. All master builders understand this principle. It's clear from the construction, precise accuracy was necessary. The site in which to build a foundation had to be sturdy to hold a 6 million ton pyramid, and it had to be near a river in order to transport limestone to the building site. Optically pumped lasers were needed in order to cut the stones with precise precision and cleanness for each to fit in its respective place. The science of levitation was also necessary in order to stack stones that weigh tons on top of one another. The pyramids were originally covered with huge blocks of fine-grained white limestone, basalt pavement, and red granite pillars. The building was actually white, red, and black. These colors are secret colors of the Native American, Dogons of Mali, as well as the Sabians. So, there must be a link. In conclusion, the ancient Egyptians had a very advanced society, in which others borrowed from. Their architectural genius has never been matched. On certain walls of ancient Egypt, you will also find drawings of men holding coils in their hands, for they also had knowledge of energies and atoms long before modern science. They knew enough quantum physics and beyond to design an electromagnetic antenna that you call a pyramid. I'm Kef Ray, and this is Back to the Basic. Like, share, and subscribe. Facts we stated, you wanna know something, go back to basics. Mozart trapping was called the Matrix. The world filled with lies, yet it's hard to face it. So I spread truth, hope you